They say prison breaks men, but sometimes it forges them. When Marcus Johnson first stepped into a federal penitentiary in Illinois, he wasn't thinking about redemption, wealth, or the future. He was thinking about survival. He was 24, a felon, sentenced to 6 years for armed robbery gone wrong. The media painted him as just another thug, another lost cause from Chicago's South Side, but nobody knew the twist his life was about to take. By the time he walked out of those gates years later, Marcus wasn't just free, he was rich, filthy rich, the kind of rich that turns whispers into legends. The kind of rich that came from something most inmates had never even heard of back then: Bitcoin. But let's rewind, because to understand Marcus's fortune, you have to understand his fall. Marcus grew up in a broken home. His mom worked double shifts at a nursing home, his dad disappeared before he could walk. And the streets raised him like they raised a lot of kids: fast, rough, and unforgiving. By 16, he was running with gangs. By 18, he was hustling small-time scams. But at 24, his luck ran out when he and two friends tried to rob a liquor store. It wasn't supposed to go violent, but things spiraled. A gunshot went off, a clerk got hurt, and that was enough to turn the jury cold. 6 years in federal prison. At first, Marcus was bitter. Angry at the system, angry at himself, angry at life. Prison is where time slows and regrets get louder. But prison is also where strange seeds sometimes get planted. Inmates talk. Some talk nonsense. Some talk opportunity. One day in 2012, Marcus was mopping the prison library floor when he overheard two white-collar inmates, guys locked up for wire fraud, talking about something called Bitcoin. He didn't understand a word at first. They were laughing about how they used it to move money without banks, how it was like internet gold. One of them joked, "Man, by the time we're out, this thing gonna be worth a fortune." Marcus didn't know what to make of it, but something about that word stuck: Bitcoin. Later, he asked one of them, "What's Bitcoin, really?" The guy smirked and said, "It's digital money, bro. Nobody controls it, not the banks, not the government. It's risky, but it's the future." He even scribbled Bitcoin org on a piece of paper and told Marcus, "When you're out, check it out, could change your life." At that time, Bitcoin was dirt cheap, just a few dollars a coin. But in prison, information is rare treasure. Marcus spent weeks rereading old magazine articles in the library about the internet, coding, and digital money. He didn't get it all, but he got enough to plant an obsession. And when you've got 6 years with nothing but time, obsessions can save you or destroy you. For Marcus, it saved him. Fast forward, in 2018, Marcus finally walked free. 6 years older, wiser, but broke. He had no money, no real skills, just a bag of prison clothes and a head full of scraps about something called Bitcoin. But here's where destiny plays strange games. His cousin Reggie picked him up at the prison gate, blasting music in a beat-up car. On the ride back to Chicago, Marcus asked him, "You ever heard of Bitcoin?" Reggie laughed. "Man, that nerd money? People buying fake coins online? Now, that's a scam." But Marcus couldn't shake it. 2 weeks later, sitting in his mom's basement, jobless and frustrated, Marcus searched Bitcoin on a borrowed laptop. By now, in 2018, Bitcoin wasn't a secret. It was in the news. Prices were thousands of dollars per coin, not pennies, not dollars. Marcus's jaw dropped. He thought back to those inmates, laughing in the library years ago. He realized, if he had just $100 back then, he'd be a millionaire already. That regret burned, but instead of crushing him, it lit a fire. He made a vow, "I ain't missing this train again." But here's the catch: Marcus had no money. Fresh out of prison, no one wanted to hire a felon. He applied at warehouses, restaurants, gas stations. The rejections piled up. Most men would have given up, slid back into hustling, but Marcus was done with street life. He started doing odd jobs, cutting lawns, cleaning basements, delivering food. Every dollar he saved, he put into Bitcoin. At first it was small, $50 here, $100 there. He didn't touch it, didn't spend it. He just stacked. 2019 came, and the market crashed. Bitcoin fell hard. His cousin Reggie mocked him, told you it was a scam, man. You wasting your money. Even his mom begged him to quit. Marcus, save for something real. Buy a car, get your own place. But Marcus kept studying, about having cycles, about why believers said Bitcoin was digital gold. He saw patterns the streets had already taught him: booms, busts, patience, survival. Then came 2020, the pandemic hit. The world shut down. Marcus lost his side jobs, but something strange happened. Bitcoin exploded. Trillions of dollars flooded the system, people lost trust in banks, and suddenly, Bitcoin was on every headline. But fortune brings fear. Marcus didn't tell anyone. Not his cousin, not his mom, nobody. In the streets, you flash money, you invite vultures. In prison, he'd learned the art of silence. While people argued about stimulus checks, Marcus was secretly turning his life around. He bought courses online, learned more about investing, even started trading. By 2021, his portfolio passed $1 million. A felon, once counted out by society, now a Bitcoin millionaire. And yet money didn't erase the scars. Marcus remembered the clerk hurt in that robbery. He remembered nights in a cold cell. He remembered the feeling of being written off as worthless. So instead of running off to Miami or Vegas, he stayed in Chicago and started something different. He launched a program teaching other ex-cons and young men from his neighborhood about financial literacy. He didn't preach Bitcoin as a magic ticket. He taught discipline, patience, risk, and vision. He told them, prison gave me time. Bitcoin gave me freedom. But discipline kept me alive. His story spread. Local news picked it up, then online blogs, then podcasts. They called him the Bitcoin Felon, a man who went from inmate to innovator. Some called it luck, but Marcus knew it wasn't luck. It was listening when others laughed. It was sacrifice when others spent. It was holding when others panicked. Today, Marcus lives free, debtless, and focused. He still invests, but his true wealth isn't just in Bitcoin, it's in proving the system wrong. He's living proof that even the darkest chapters can be rewritten, that sometimes the biggest opportunities hide in whispers, even behind prison walls. So what's the moral here? Don't wait for perfect conditions, don't dismiss what you don't understand, and most of all, don't count yourself out just because the world does. Marcus went to jail a felon, but came out a Bitcoin millionaire because he chose to listen, to learn, and to leap. Now, I want to hear from you. What would you have done in Marcus's shoes? Would you have trusted Bitcoin when it was just whispers, or would you have laughed it off like his cousin Reggie? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story shocked you, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more stories that prove life can flip in ways you'd never imagine.